We'll begin with Apple, though, higher on better-than-expected quarterly earnings and revenue, despite that drop in iPhone sales. Results got a boost from stronger demand for iPads and AirPods, as well as growth in services. Company issuing some upbeat holiday quarter guidance. Jim and Josh Lipton talked to Tim Cook about better sentiment in China as well.
I was surprised at that when I was talking with Tim, and of course with Josh and with Luca Maestri. The whole tone of the discussion was that things are pretty much on track, more than we realize. Optimism by Tim Cook, countered, of course, by blind stories involving Chinese officials who we do not know, who are saying, listen, there's no real long-term plan. I totally discount that. What I care about is boots on the ground, and that's Tim. And Tim Cook is selling a lot of phones everywhere. Now, China's not as great as you'd like, but does it really matter? This is not a phone story. When they decided that they were no longer going to release the granularity of phones, most of the people I talked to said, ha, that's because phones are bad. What the reality was exactly what Tim Cook said, which is that phones are only a piece of the puzzle now. I listened to service revenue, and it's no longer just it's no longer just as big as a toaster kind of thing. That's what they used to do. They'd say this as big as a bread box, but not. No, this is a company that has a multiple that's way too low, given the fact that it's consistent and that China does not seem to be the be-all and end-all of what's going to happen.
Well, the Bears argue that it's exactly that. The multiples had an incredible run just this quarter. So where should the multiple end up? If we're 20 now, 21?
Geez, I don't know. I mean, this is a weak quarter, a transition quarter. This is a quarter that's supposed to be bad. We've got 5G ahead of us. They had a camera, the triple camera that people felt didn't really mean anything. Those of us who like to take pictures at night suddenly can take pictures at night. They have people said, oh, battery life, big deal. Well, it turns out that, geez, I can't run the battery down. A lot of people feel this way. And one of the thoughts that I said to Tim was, hey, how about the AirPods? I mean, what's the deal with the buds? Okay, can we get them? Can we get the pods? No. The answer is that they're going to be very hard to get, the noise cancellation. That they're trying. And one of the things he said to me was, we're running full out for watches. Full out for watches. Watches are a big part of the business now. So I say, if we're just going to be bound by the four walls of the number of phones that are sold, we're going to miss the fact that this thing might get a 22, 23 multiple.
22, 23.
Yes.
What about the fact that operating expenses growth now exceeding sales growth?
Well, look, I mean...
And I can keep just hitting these things to you, and you'll bat them away.
Well, I say own it, don't trade it. So far, I've been kind of right since 5, when my daughter told me she wanted a second iPod because one was pink and she needed a blue one because they were jewelry. Mm-hmm. Look, I just think that when you talk to Tim Cook, I said, listen, entertainment, I don't know. I mean, don't you have to buy the NFL? I mean, whatever. I threw out some stupid things because I just like to hear myself talk.
What did he have to say?
He said, listen, we're not going to buy a catalog.
Right.
We're not going to do that. We're going to develop our own.
We're not going to buy a content company.
No, we're going to develop like that unbelievable interview you had, that full-day interview on HBO.
Full day.
Full day. It's full day.
No, it was not.
No? Okay. But anyway, he said, we're not going to buy a catalog. Well, so then I said, well, how about the long-term value of a customer? And Lucas says, yeah, Jim, I know what the long-term value. I mean, I ask the same question every single time. I used to ask the service question every single time. They say, yeah, the service question. Now I'm on long-term value, the long-term value. But the credit card. I mean, I don't even have room to talk about the credit card. But they have a credit card that people are actually taking. This is not the magnesium card. This is being taken out of the pockets by millennials. Right. Well, David, did you pay your bill this month? My FICO score went to like 480.
Who knows? Maybe we did. Maybe who knows?
I know. I like to look every morning how much I made. This is how I got rich. People say, how did you get rich? That's because I look at my value every day. I'm not really rich. I do have good olive grove, though. I feel that it's really important to recognize that this is a quarter where I actually had to say to Tim, you don't even sound that enthusiastic for the greatest quarter ever. He said he's coming down with a cold.
As far as targets go, JPM goes to 280.
Right.
Wedbush and Davidson, 300. So we got some three handles on targets now.
Well, look, they make sense. How about Katie Huberty being completely right and people ignoring her the whole way? And she's talking about the service reacceleration. I remember the last quarter we started hearing about service deceleration. Well, there's service receleration. I mean, every time you want to count this company out or say there's something wrong, look, we saw a bad review, right? bad reviews of a TV show. One TV show, Apple Plus. Stock went down $5 on a bad review. I mean, what are you kidding me?
No, that's odd. I mean, this shouldn't have any impact whatsoever.
None.
You would think. In their efforts so far in streaming. We've said we'll see. You got to give it time, like a lot of the other things that they have done. And 5 years from now, we may be sitting here with a very different narrative about
but this isn't
Apple TV and its success in streaming. Right now, it's not much anything.